Hi, I'm Greg with A&A Manufacturing. Today we're going to go over some of the items you're going to see in swimming pools and what the terminology is for them. So the first thing Scott Bushey is going to go over is one of our cleaning heads here.
So this is a G4 cleaning head. The 4 stands for 4 adjustable nozzles. As you can see here, I can actually turn that counterclockwise and you can see the different size nozzles. And depending upon where it is in the pool, whether on the steps or the benches or the floor, is where you put the nozzle size. That's normally spec'd out when the pool is initially built. It's actually spec'd out as to what nozzle is supposed to go where. These are also called pop-ups because as they pop up, they rotate around 360 degrees. This obviously does a better job at cleaning and stuff the more it goes around. And there's a water valve that actually has the water going to the heads to rotate 360 degrees. The other thing you see here is this is our G4V. So this is a pretty exciting head. This actually pulls water in from the top, besides having the water actually come in from the bottom. And the draft of the water as it comes this way, the Venturi action pulls the water into the head. And so we actually get more water or the same water, but what we end up doing is we actually end up using less electricity, because on a variable speed pump technology we can run our RPMs much lower and still clean the same distance than this head in the larger nozzle.
So what both of those cleaning heads go into, what you'll see in your swimming pool, is a floor fitting. Now this is all below gunite, so all you're going to see is the color ring here, and then the head would get inserted into there and locked in, and you can see the little locking lugs there. But what's nice about the G4s is if you ever refinish your pool and you want to go from white to gray or gray to dark gray, you can take that off there and install a different color on the floor fitting. And then when you put the cleaning heads in, everything will match up perfectly. So this is a floor fitting. You're not going to see much of these other than the surface of them. The next thing we'd like to talk about, since we have the floor fitting here, is a pressure tester. So say we're looking at a cleaning head that's on a top step, and I go and I pull it out, and I'm going to look at the opening of the cleaning head here, and on a top step it's generally going to be the small opening like this. And if the cleaning system's not working well, we can use this pressure tester to diagnose or dial in a system better. So I'm going to remove this cleaning head, look at the opening. The pressure tester comes with different size openings over here, so I'm going to find the one that most resembles the cleaning head, install that in here. Takes 2 seconds to screw it in if I don't drop it. And then you drop that. So this is where the cleaning head would go into in the swimming pool. You put this in there, lock it into place, and then you turn your pump on and you can check pressures at the cleaning head. So instead of checking at the water valve, at the filter, we can check it at the source and make sure we're getting at least 10 pounds of pressure. Generally with any in-floor system, what you want to see is 10 pounds of pressure at the cleaning heads. You can go a little bit higher than that, but we don't want to be much lower than 10 for them to work the way they're designed to work. So next, what controls the cleaning heads is the water valve, and I'll have Scott go into that a little bit here.
So this is our 6-port WAVE, which stands for water actuator valve. You may also hear water valve, water actuator valve, gearbox, multi-port valve. Basically, this is required on an in-floor cleaning system. As we mentioned before, having the heads rotate 360 degrees, the fluctuation of pressure when it goes from one zone to another causes the head to pop up and then pop down, hence pop-ups. So this particular water valve is our 6-port valve. So there's 6 ports that come in from the bottom. As you can see here, there's typically 2-inch plumbing. What's nice about this particular valve is this actually has a flow vise valve on here as well, which actually adjusts you can actually adjust the GPMs going to the valve itself. But what's great about it too is if this wasn't on here necessarily, is a lot of times people will actually plumb in 2.5-inch plumbing into the valve so we can get even more water to the side of the valve. And you want to take it apart there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to see what's inside of here too, we can open this up real quick. This is a 2-inch valve. We have 1.5 inches out in the field. We also have top feed valves, but today we're just talking about this low profile here. So this piece on top, I've heard people describe it as a way to control the speed of the water valve. If you push this down, it slows down the impeller by hitting it. That is absolutely false. This is a pause control. So if you lift this up, it plunges a piece of plastic down and stops the impeller from rotating, which is going to pause the water valve on whatever station is up. So if you want to keep the cleaning heads up on the station that we're pressure testing, you can pause it once it gets here, mess with the RPMs until you get to that 10 PSI, and boom, you're going to have a much cleaner pool. So that's what the pause control is there for. the lid once we take it off here. The lid is a speed control lid too. So water coming in, I'll kind of show you here. As the water comes in, it comes into this here, and this controls how much hits the impeller here. So with this lid set up here, if I turn it all the way counterclockwise, the most amount of water I can is going to be hitting this, spinning it quicker, transitioning it through gears quicker. Now if I rotate it clockwise as much as I can, we're diverting some of the water around there and a little bit still going in, so it's just going to spin this slower and it's going to allow the pop-ups to be up longer. So with most pools, I'll put this in the middle and then kind of play it by ear as far as what's going to be best. But we usually want the heads to be up for about 45 seconds to a minute. So right around there is where they're going to clean best at. So the gear kit, once you take the lid off, there's an impeller on top, and then there's the gear kit underneath here, followed by the flaps down below. And what's nice is this is a true 2-inch port. There's not a reduction anywhere where we're dropping down to 1.5 inches, creating a choke point. We have a full 2-inch flow all the way through here. And then the cam, which we're always tweaking and redesigning to get as efficient as we can. Currently, as it lifts up the flaps, at the peak, the flaps open, sending water to just one particular zone, and then it drops down, creating a smooth transition, but a quick transition to the next zone. So you're not getting water hammer, but you're also getting efficiency and getting as much time on peak as you can on each zone. I think last item we have is our channel drain to talk with you guys about today. So the channel drain is a bunch of nice things about this. One, it's flush fitting. So when your interior finish comes up here, you can fill this channel with anything you want, be it tile, be it pebble. We also have just plain plastic tops. If you have a plaster pool and you want to throw a white top in there, we can do that. But the best thing is that it's flush fitting. It can take heavy debris. So it's got this channel around here that allows heavy debris to drop into and then get removed through the pool. Another great thing about this is this one happens to be a dual suction. So if you have a split suction system now and you want to remodel your pool, you can tie in both lines into here, and with a single drain, you can be compliant with current codes. There's very few drains that you can do that with. In fact, I don't think there's any other one where you can tie in 2 lines to one. But our normal drain comes with a single suction. You can use 2.5 or even 3-inch suction on here, which is really, really nice.
This is a hydrostatic plug here, so for those back east that have to drain their pools, this is where the hydrostatic plug goes as well.
If you're in Arizona, you don't understand
have to worry about that. Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I think that kind of concludes everything.
Yeah, the two inlet pulls in about 200 to 220 gallons a minute. And what's nice too on a new construction is you can actually have one side pulling in for your filter pump, and then another one you could even use like a water feature or something like that. If you didn't want to necessarily have a separate drain on the side of the pool, you can actually use this for your drain for the separate pump.
Yep. And yeah, like you said, you can get over 200 GPM through them, so that's really, really nice. There's not a lot of drains you can do that with, especially with pumps nowadays, variable speeds that can flow 100, 150 GPM. Some of the drains can't handle that. Luckily, this guy's got it.